All right, everybody. So this is it. Went a little bit long on the last session. Took a little bit of a break, but everything will always even out to. This is going to be our 100th hour of the 100, and let me truly just say it's been a great pleasure. Anybody who's watched, anybody who's participated, some really nice members of my learning community have come into, my sphere of the great people that I'm involved with because of offering these hours. So, this initially started off very much kind of me just knowing I wanted to do more than just train by myself in my living room to keep my practice up, which is something I can always do by myself. I knew I wanted to be teaching something, and initially I just wanted to start teaching some martial arts classes that I thought might be beneficial to people. And then later just kind of figured out, okay, I think 100 hours sounds good. And this week has been last week I just kind of made up my mind that I wanted to finish this week. And I know we've done a lot of hours this week, but it's been very rewarding and really wonderful. So first and foremost, I did not see anybody send me any questions, which is not the end of the world. I certainly have things that I'm ready to talk about during this time. If nobody has any questions, but if anybody who's on here has a question, if you want to either type it or unmute yourself and ask to get us to a jumping off point. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of go over what I had intended to go over. So anybody who's on here, Rob, Karen, Brandon, Dylan, Abra, don't know if anybody has any questions, comments, anything just that I can cover verbally before I go into what I wanted to share with this last section of the 100.
I know Karen had a couple questions, but she's back talking with Brendan right now. She'll be back up here in a little bit.
Okay. Well, and we'll make sure we have to save some time for her questions, so no worries at all. Anything from anybody, even if they're not, if you have technique questions, I'll certainly answer them. If there's anything martial arts in general or okay. Just for anybody who's going to watch this after the fact, I will definitely do like a short kind of technique video. Let's see. All right. Does the Mafalindo Silat incorporate any internal martial arts? Oh, that's a really good question. So the Southeast Asian arts that I would think of as internal, really there's more of a focus on them in the Filipino, in the Inosanto La Costa, and the Mafalindo really, I'll use a kind of a synonym that gets thrown around sometimes, like the softer part of your practice, the internal, a lot of that is sort of encapsulated in the Kembangan and that sort of area. The Mafalindo really is very technique focused, like really trying to sort of give you a set route of techniques to develop competence. We have the ground domain, we have the Silhig series, we have the Karasak series, and then there are 7 series of 7 techniques a piece. I don't teach all 49 of those techniques. I do teach, like, series 1 is the Lacosta armbar series. I don't teach series 2. It's the octopus series because there's a couple of techniques in there that I think there's a high probability for injury. Series 3 I teach. Series 4, I don't teach the whole series because I think it's encapsulated in a single technique. But I'm sorry, getting back to the actual question, Maffalindo's really focused on technique, and that internal aspect is kind of covered in a very sort of surface kind of way by the Kembongan, as we will do, because that is really usually the end of most every Maffalindo class, is to try to Kembongan some of what we were working on. But when I think about the internal aspects of Silat, no, like Maffalindo doesn't go, at least as I've experienced it, Maffalindo doesn't go a lot deeper than that. The reason that I brought up the Inosanto Lacosta is the Filipino martial arts is there's 12 areas. There is definitely some crossover with Silat, because we're always gonna, we're gonna have that with, you'll hear Silat, Kuntao, even sometimes when you hear Pun and Tukin from a Filipino context, an external observer is going to say, well, that's Silat. And it's, Southeast Asian martial arts that's very often done empty-handed, but informed by blade theory. That's not an exciting title, but that's kind of, I know I'm generalizing for a large area of content. But specifically the Inosanto Lacosta series, the 12th area is supposed to be the spiritual, the healing arts, the internal part of your practice, music and rhythm, meditation, really focused on in that 12th area. And the 12th area is the last area, because if you've gone through the other 11 areas, then it's sort of like it's time to make sure that those elements of your practice are also present. But specifically Maffalindo, in my experience, there's not a terrible amount of focus. Were you thinking of setting up a forum for members? Oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah, we can do a Facebook, a page, a group. Let's do a group. Because a group we can keep private. Yeah, we can definitely set up a Facebook group for members. Yeah, well, and yeah, so Coach Dillon, I have that, Dr. Bryan Stoops, whatever, which of the groups do we use most primarily for student discussion? Well, I think that's the thing. I don't know that, well, student and you, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think the point is a good one, that we might just want some kind of a members only forum. We can just have a page like that in the members area. That's another option as well. Just a general, questions and comments page that people can post on and start a dialogue that's really easy to set up within Kajabi. You know, what I like about that, Dr. Bryan Stoops, JKD, FMA, CLOT Motivation, or whatever the current name is, that's a Facebook group. From the standpoint of communication, the nice part about groups is that when I post in a group as opposed to a page, you all get a notification that somebody has posted, even if that's not me, because, like, you know, some of our other members will post in that group as well, and I totally encourage that. So, like, I mean, Dylan, you know, you and I think you do a fairly good job of this. Like, you and Abra should be, you know, promoting your stuff regularly within that group. You know, my trainers, phase instructors, and instructors, you know, knock on wood, as things are opening, if you all are teaching regular classes, or if you are looking for training partners or stuff like that, that should also be a group where people feel comfortable posting those things as well. You know, and I know, Dylan, you were commenting, I had turned my profile into a page when I hit 5,000 friends. And so, you know, that's got like 5,000 followers or something just underneath that, for 4,950, something like that. The only thing about a page versus a group is I don't believe the page sends out an automatic notification that that somebody has posted. So it's just kind of, you like, luck of the draw if you see it in the feed, versus a group will send all the members of that group a notification. So in Kajabi, the nice part is I can always, I mean, I do it all the time. I can always do an announcement, and then, you know, I click the button to send you all an email that there's been an announcement posted within the product. And then Kajabi does a nice job where in the body of the email, it actually sends you a copy of all that text. So there's a number of different ways. If we want members only dialogue, that's one thing. If we want members of that group only dialogue, then posting in that group would be a great way. Let's see. Typically, I'm not super excited to get off of Facebook, but I actually genuinely do think that's a cool idea to do it on the Kajabi platform. Yeah. So, I mean, we might, you know, what we might say right now is I need to go into Kajabi anyways for a number of things, but specifically for the online martial arts learning community, to look for a video for CLOT. Excuse me, everybody, right back to the frame. I need to look for a video that David was telling me, David from Australia was telling me I'm missing in the Brown EKIT requirements. And when I'm in there tomorrow, respectfully, I gotta go pick up everybody's certificates. They're done. They're printed. I just got to get on the train and go into Midtown with my mask and my gloves and grab them and get them in the mail by Monday. So that's going to be done from the trainer cert, and then all the rank that I owe everybody. Those are done. Tomorrow is going to be a big old build day, but today, after this, as far as martial arts goes, once I pick those certificates up, I'm done. So tomorrow, and I mean that very respectfully. So let me make a note here, Brown EKIT. And then I'm going to make a note, members only forum. And also let me look in Kajabi. I don't know if they have like a a forum builder. And if they don't have a forum builder, I know what I'll do. I'll just set up a page with a post where it's any comments or questions that anybody has, and you'll all be able, when you're logged in, to post there anytime that you want. Okay, so that's a really good question. And then if there's dialogue, like, you know, Brandon, you're in that that private Facebook group that I've been talking about. You know, you're always welcome to post questions in there. If there's anything for like the benefit of, I think we have like almost 600 people in there, you think that would be better for that larger group rather than just the members. We have about 40 members right now in the online martial arts learning community. So if there's ever anything that you all think would be better going out to the larger private group on Facebook, you can always post it there. So I'll do that. Is that good as far as a forum and questions? And okay, very good. Does anybody have any other questions? Because that's good stuff. Okay, I'm gonna set some stuff up here if you're all discussing that real quickly. Okay. Okay, and give me one moment, everybody, to just get kind of set up for what I wanted to go over for you. Bear with me for 1 second here. Okay, so let me bring this back up. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so there we go. This is what are, you know, I don't want this remaining 30 minutes to come off like a teleseminar. I really don't. And, you know, everybody watching this after the fact, like if the free resources are going to help you, then that is entirely the point. And anybody who would like to actually, again, like formally join my program at a distance, this is what the online martial arts learning community actually looks like. So I'm probably going to do another updated intro video because we've come a long way since the middle of June. I've learned a heck of a lot in this last month here. This is I'm just going to go through this real quick. This is an 8-week mini course designed to help you get rid of your martial arts burnout. This Stoops 37 count is a mini course that I created on a 37-beat numbering system that I developed a while back. And I was kind of teaching last year when seminars were still a thing. This is really where this all started, and the most important thing because I've been talking about this for a really long time. Like my students back in Southern California, a lot of they laugh at me all the time, and it's fine because this has been such a long time coming. You know, what we have, and this is finally done, is the entire JKD curriculum. Every single one of these is a tutorial video. I'll kill the sound here, right? So, and again, you know, different production standard, right? Because we're in the Manhattan Academy, which is no longer a thing. Unfortunately, I mean, we did a lot of great training there, so it definitely served its purpose. But, you know, this is Guru Carlos and myself on a lot of these early videos. And that was the production standard. Then, you know, later, like this is a really good example. You know, Coach Dylan helped me knock out these videos like at the tail end of when the lease was going to run out on the place, and we at the time we really hoped to maybe move into a larger facility. But these are all recorded honestly on my laptop on Zoom, and I would just press play and start, or press record and then stop them, and then I would edit in, you know, I would trim the clips and edit in like a fade in and a fade out. And then, you know, Coach Dylan and I talked about this a lot. I don't really know the reason for this. When you do that, for some reason, videos that you generated through Zoom, even if you make them shorter by trimming them and then just like adding a fade in and a fade out, it for some reason like doubles or triples the file size. So
it uncompresses the bit rate.
there you go. So and in doing so, it just like I mean seriously, like a 10-minute clip to upload it to Kajabi for hosting would almost take 25 minutes sometimes, depending on the Wi-Fi. I have pretty good Wi-Fi, like knock on wood, most of the time it works for what we need it to work for. So, I mean, that kind of brings us to our current production standards. You can see I'm leaning in, I pressed record. It's exactly what I've been doing here. So as I've been filming the Kid Persist curriculum, I mean, I'm just right there. I press record, I start talking, and then as long as I haven't completely blown the take, I just kind of approach the laptop and say, okay, you know, post any questions or comments that you might have, and then I'll see you all on the next video, and I press stop. And I don't really edit those clips anymore, even with a fade in or a fade out, for what Coach Dylan just explained with the right technical terminology, because then it takes me 2 to 3 times as long to get them to you. And at this point, I'm trying to get you the content. Like, for me, it's about the content. And I know that some people would argue with me, and that the look is important and you're taking away, and I get all that. Right now, my mission is get the content on video. And yeah, and we can always reshoot, and in the future, and we could even reshoot and just have a second generation recording, right? Like not delete the this is, oh yeah, you're reminding everybody how big the curriculum. Yeah, so I got you. So ALMAC phase 1, yeah, exactly. So I mean, we can always go back. It can always be ALMAC, you know, 2.0 in the future. We can definitely always do that. And oh, phase 1, right? Gotcha. That's pretty good. Yeah, and there's the nice part about Kajabi is it's unlimited video hosting, so it's not like any of that has to be deleted. There could always be another category where it's just like, you know, the current version, and and then you go and look at the materials. Now, what I am going to add tomorrow is there's going to be a section that's going to say, you know, members only classes, and that's where the Zoom links the updated Zoom links will get posted. That's where the recordings, rather than YouTube, will get posted. That rather than doing all that publicly, the new content as we train it and record it and upload it will get uploaded there. So initially the dream was just kind of self-study, that you could go back to it. How does that platform work compared to something like Google Classroom? As far as Kajabi, are you talking about Zoom, Brandon, or Kajabi? Kajabi does everything. So Kajabi, and so I'm going to come off like a Kajabi salesperson. And if anybody ever wants a Kajabi membership, please this sound like a multi-level marketer. Please join through my link, because then I get a small commission. And then if you ever help people learn Kajabi, you can do the same thing. But Kajabi does, like, for example, Kajabi builds landing pages. So this is a Kajabi. You can see it redirected to a Kajabi URL. Kajabi builds landing pages. Kajabi controls your list management. So, you know, I mean, I have opt-ins on everything that I do. Growing that list and keeping that list lean is legitimately very important in business. So Kajabi does all your video hosting. Kajabi does all your all my email marketing is through Kajabi. All my billing is through Kajabi. All my, like, you can see the little Kajabi logo here. And the only reason I'm not going to bring up my personal interface is this particular video is going to go out public. But if anybody ever wants more information on Kajabi, please send me an email and I will legitimately help you out. It's an incredibly powerful platform based on what it does. So like, this is the actual product itself when it comes to the online martial arts learning community. All of these videos are hosted by Kajabi. You have unlimited video hosting. Otherwise, I would never be able to create what I've created here. Because, you know, the other thing we have, this is ongoing content. This has been for a while now. We have our members only classes, which I start, sessions, sorry, different than classes. This is like a Q&A session. It looks more like what we're doing right now. So this is where all of these are about an hour. So, you know, this is where when members have questions, we go through and I try to answer their questions. If I physically have to stand up and demo something, I will, but I do a lot of these sessions just seated. So, you know, Kajabi, again, all of those videos, does all your video hosting, it does all of that. It's an incredibly powerful platform. And then I just do my instruction through Zoom. And I mean, everything. So like we did virtual FMA trainer.com, this landing page, which looks very similar to the Allmac homepage now, because I just like this template. This landing page is all created by Kajabi. If they were to register, the billing goes through Kajabi. And again, if they don't register, the opt-in and then the list management is all handled by Kajabi as well. So what happened for me is I initially started doing all this with different things. Like I was doing video hosting with one company, and I was using like MailChimp for my my list management and my opt-ins, and then I was just doing PayPal invoices for some of my billing. And I'm going to sound like I work for the company, and I do not. But for me, the power of Kajabi is it does everything. Everything is housed within that one area. And then if you know how to buy URLs, you just can, basically can create like unlimited landing pages. So Coach Dylan and I talk about this all the time. Like it's like 10, 12 bucks a year. No, I didn't buy that one yet, Coach Dylan, but I need to get on that. So I have that. Okay. All right. Well, I'll buy it. So I will, cause like with tax, a URL with no other bells and whistles for the year on GoDaddy is like 13 bucks. And I know it's a little archaic. I know Venmo is like what everybody loves right now. Kajabi uses PayPal. I think eventually they're thinking about maybe changing, but GoDaddy also uses PayPal. So, because so many people are on PayPal, it just keeps everything really clean as far as expenses and net versus gross and stuff like that. And I like having everything in one place. So, again, aside from going on GoDaddy every now and then buying a URL, like Kajabi does everything. So I'm a fan. And again, I would never presume to spend anybody's money for them, but if anybody ever wants any information, just let me know, and I can. Yes, I would get a little affiliate commission out of it, but I would make sure that it was worth your while and you had the support you needed to really make the most out of it. It's very powerful software when you know what you can do with it. So, okay, so I think that this is what I'd like to do in lieu of spending the last 15 minutes here trying to, again, come off like I work for Kajabi. Let me set one thing up here, and then I'll share my screen with all of you again. And we'll kind of bring this to a close with our last few minutes here. Okay, so this is for everybody watching. All right, so hopefully you're seeing my screen here and this blank document. So once again, please make sure, everybody, that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, even after tomorrow when, all 100 hours are finally uploaded. I will be doing, semi-regular technique videos. I like to do my videos on, I very much like to do my videos on like mind setting and certain ideas in the martial arts that I think are are important and topical. And I know some people might label me as touchy-feely with some of these, like where I've been doing a lot of class videos. I haven't done one in a while. Let me just track one down here. It's all been class videos for some time. Let's see here. So I like to do a video. This is some info on the virtual trainer. That's not really what I'm talking about. More mindsetting and just kind of positivity. And oh, here. So like 5 reasons martial artists need to hold on to hope. So, I mean, granted, I haven't done a video like that in some time, but definitely, especially now that I've been so focused on the 100, we'll definitely be putting out some more content like that with the semi-regular technique video made available to you all as well. Okay, now if you go to careercommand.org, it is a landing page, but you have to opt in, but I'm going to be really ethical and transparent about this. When you put in your first name and best email address, in exchange for that, you can get a completely free digital copy of my book. My book's called Career Command Through Filipino Martial Arts. It's about a 200-page book, and I wrote it in December of 2019. I had intended to do hard copies a little bit earlier when this all started to go a little bit nuts. January and February were really quite insane in terms of I had a lot that I was working on in terms of some martial arts goals and some traveling and some training and a bunch of trips that I took. And then early March as well, I had my last trip to Seattle, which was a training trip, and then we were kind of in lockdown. So I haven't gotten the hard copies available yet. And I fully intend to in short order now, especially now that the 100 is finished. The hard copy of the books, they're probably only going to end up being about maybe $20, maybe $25. I need to look at what the final costs are going to be per copy. But it's not, the most it's going to be is like $25 before shipping. Excuse me. However, once again, if you go to careercommand.org and you opt in with your name and email address, you can get a completely free digital copy. And it is, 99%. I mean, I'm going to go back and do a final pass. I think I caught all the edits and all the corrections, and I had a couple other people put eyes on it. And then I'm going to go, obviously print it, but and it'll be a print on demand kind of a situation with that book. But the free copy is 99% that book. So when you opt in, there is it's an automatic email sequence, and it always cracks me up a little bit because sometimes people treat me like I'm the first person that's ever created an internet marketing plan. And that's just, I mean, come on. At this point, we've all opted in. We've probably all maybe had our names opted into something because we opted in elsewhere. So I'm telling you explicitly, if you don't want to receive those emails, you can opt in And then when you get the very first one, at the bottom of the email, there's an unsubscribe button. And if you don't want to get my emails, you can unsubscribe. And in that sense, you've kind of beat the system, right? I'm making air quotes around that phrase, right? You got the free book. So I'm sharing that more from the standpoint of, if you'd like a free digital copy of my book, that's the way to get it. And that's the way to get it if you don't want to like send me an email and, hey, can you send me a PDF copy of the book? Because I have so much stuff going on. It might take me a couple of days. This is a way you can get an instant download on your own. And then if you don't want to be bothered with emails, you can just opt out of that list, and it's not a problem. Okay. The other thing that I would recommend for people that just want to keep this on a complimentary basis is the following. Okay, so there are, what, I think 18 weeks worth of classes, right, in every subject area. So let's say Wing Chun, everybody, just for example. Find a time in your schedule, in your weekly schedule, that you are mostly always free. The Wing Chun class recordings are 45 minutes. So let's just say this as an example. Let's say, and again, this is all just to get you thinking. It doesn't have to be this way. It's a hypothetical. Let's say that Thursdays at 7 p.m., that's a really good time for you. 99 times out of 100, nothing is going on. Nobody needs anything from you. That's a good time for you. Every Thursday at 7 p.m., starting, next Thursday, turn on go all the way back to the very first week's Wing Chun, start the recording, and follow along like that class is taking place in real time. The only difference is going to be, obviously, I'm not going to be interacting with you because it's a recording. And one of the only other differences is if there's something that you really don't understand, instead of being able to ask a question, you can just back the little virtual header on the video back up, and you can watch it as many times as you want to. And in this way, the class recordings could kind of substitute as taking class. Now, of course, yes, you will eventually finish them. And I don't want to sound like a cheesy salesperson. At that point, if you'd like to join the online martial arts learning community, awesome. If you don't want to join the online martial arts learning community, maybe you restart them. But that's going to take many, many, many weeks to actually cycle through all. And it doesn't have to be Wing Chun. It could be any of the subject matters that we've covered on the regular basis in the weekly classes. Okay, so these are all those are all complementary ways to continue learning from me, kind of interacting with me. Oh, and I mean, then, and I'm going to say this publicly, everybody, as far as like public posts on my profile for class, I'm going to kind of stop doing that, okay? Because that's how I've been really communicating that public classes are taking place, and then tagging, those people that I usually refer to as the usual suspects. So I'll certainly do a post, I'll do my due diligence, keeping people aware of the things that I'm working on and projects going on. But as far as like tagging everybody whenever we have class, not so much, because, you know, the public classes are done. The members will know when we have class. Okay, and then, oops. The options that require an investment. If anybody would like to dip, you know, figuratively dip your big toe into my materials, the level 1 martial arts kit is, it's still accessible on Stoops, OMALC.com. What it's got is it's got just the yellow belt, yellow EKIT, Junfon level 1, and now Kid Persist level 1, which is yellow belt. Only those videos. So first level for all the programs. And what's included in that is 1 video test. So basically you get to experience what the first level, the video study materials and the written supplemental materials, you get to experience what those look like for a one-time $27 investment. And if you like it, then you might think about an OMALC membership. If you don't like it, then you invested $27. You can do your 1 test in 1 program and get your certification, and you know what you paid for, and that's it. I am going to finish the build on this this weekend. Virtual FMA. I keep doing that every time. It's like some kind of, I do not have the inability to capitalize that R in trainer. I know it's going, I'm dyslexic or something. Virtualfmatrainer.com. So we did the first virtual Filipino martial arts trainer weekend. There will be an opportunity to interact with those materials after the fact and go through all the recordings independently to still earn your trainer certification. And then if you do all the work to do your level 1, your phase 1 FMA instructor certification as well by testing the first 3 levels. Please don't go, because it's not going to give you anything right now, but I do own this already. See, I did it again, man. You know, I have a master's, I have a doctorate. I never formally learned to type. I really regret it. I hunt and peck. I probably hunt and peck faster than most people, but it's a little embarrassing. Virtual JKD trainer. So this seems like a nice time just to share these dates. And then I'm going to wrap this up because I'm late, everybody. So August 29th and 30th, the last weekend in August, we're going to do a JKD version of the same kind of trainer experience that we did, and more information will be available very soon. And then for everybody watching this again, you can always get an OMALC membership at that URL. Oh yeah, I already bought that one. Yeah, virtual CLOT trainer. Yeah, that's coming. So I already, yeah, sorry. Yeah, so we will repeat the trainer experience for the CLOT curriculum at some point. Right now, Coach Dylan and I are talking about what JKD is going to look like. Okay, so for everybody, I'm over time. Thank you very much. Anybody who's ever taken a virtual class, anybody who's ever watched any of these videos, again, thank you for sharing your most precious, non-renewable natural resource with me, which is your time. I'm so humbled and grateful for everybody who's been a part of this, and really, really, really happy to know you. And we'll bow this out and end this. So Chinese, Filipino, Thai, Indonesian, French and Dog Brothers, and Japanese. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. These will be up on YouTube sometime tomorrow. Thanks very much. Thank you, Dylan. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Thanks, Brandon, Rob, and Karen. Thanks so much, like always. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.